Hmm. Okay, yeah. So that makes much more sense to me because I think we're looking at housing element, when you think about. Question.
All right, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We are back. Here we go. Thank you, everyone out there and those who alerted us to the feed disturbance, the disturbance in the force. We had a technical difficulties with the amp. You like my Star Wars joke. We had technical difficulties with our YouTube going offline for some reason and our amp feed. So now we are back. So we want to say thank you to our amp team who's here doing their best, Fred in the back room. So we're going to continue this conversation where we left off was we were almost completing. I think we had wrapped up some comments.
Yeah, and the city manager reminded me, just wanted to emphasize, really the goal for today is to take comments and then hopefully be able to push this forward to state HCD to get it to start their 90-day review. Not to edit the document fully and then ship it to the state. That's not part of this process. It's really listen, take in the comment, ship it up to the state, and then during the 90 days, and then when we bring it back to council in the fall, all of these great comments will make its way into the final document. So that's really the goal for tonight, just to get a recommendation to push it forward so we
Okay.
can get back on track.
Well, that
So-
said, and we don't have any more comments, would someone like to make a motion to, oh, one more? Yes, Councilmember Vischer,
Excuse me.
go for it.
Thank you, Mayor. But I assume we can ask questions about things that we read in this document. This is our chance to give comments or ask questions. Is that correct?
Yes, and even if council sends it to HCD, like you had, I think 7 or 8 pages of comments. And if you have additional comments and questions, please work with staff over the next 90 days. We'll have a lot of. answers
Absolutely.
with you.
Okay. I have 2 more questions and 1 remark.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Got
So
5 minutes.
it already was mentioned that information has been provided in English and Spanish and later also in Korean. Are any additional languages being considered or is staff waiting for requests for specific languages? If there are residents.
If there are requests, then yeah, I mean, but as of now, that's what we were
Yeah, but it must be hard. because-
budget wise, so.
Yes, but
So-
of course must be hard, people who don't have the information yet.
Right.
They will not know that they can request it. So
As a
that's-
city
I think that's
employee,
how-
I'm always looking to help people. If there's a specific person or group or whatever, we will find a way. So if you have a specific request, I'll be glad to personally work with you on that and help people. So,
Thank you.
so.
And one more question about what I read about on page 315. The continued use of the property inspection program and code enforcement. So that's being done upon the property sale or transfer. Contingent upon availability of adequate staff. Has there ever been not enough staff to perform these inspections?
No, we have adequate staff to do
Okay,
the
good.
RPIs and it's a great way to preserve the housing stock in the city and to let potential buyers and sellers know if there's any external issues to the site or any old permits they should be aware of.
Yeah. This is the perfect opportunity to make sure that everything is.
Yeah, we have,
Yes. My final is just a remark. I really like we've all, or many of us have mentioned, this is an amazing document and it's so important for our city. And I was Googling things while I was reading it, but one of the things I Googled was, or on the city website, I just typed in housing. And to my surprise, I was so happy that I saw oh, it's here. I found a great overview of all the rental properties in Marina, affordable, with contact information, phone numbers, names. And so that is awesome. We can just let people know. Anyone because we do get asked that question, like, how can I apply? Or how do I know where? Just type in housing on our city website.
you
I
are
was so
welcome.
impressed.
Matt started that and then I've been
Yeah.
refining it the last 18 months. So.
Oh, fuck. That ruins it, man. Like,
Just own it,
so-
Matt. Say it was your idea.
I will make everybody happy. I'm done. So thank you.
Right, no problem.
No, you're good. I think having thorough questions is very important.
And
Shows
so to the city
engagement.
manager's point, so we're packaging up all these comments. Hopefully we get a favorable motion tonight, shipping this up to the state. But if there are further comments that are substantive, we do as soon as possible, because I do have to work with Rincon and Veronica's team to add this stuff. And it does, there is consultant costs with that. So
I'll make a motion. Oh, that's what I saw your light on. Did you have any other comments?
No.
Okay, so would someone like to make a motion?
I would.
Go for it.
So I'd like to motion that we adopt the resolution number 2023 XX, recommending that the city council forward the draft to the state HCD.
Okay, is there a
Second.
second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all. Thank you, staff. It's
thank you, council.
It's clear that we're ahead of the rest, reflective of our collective efforts to really bring Marina to the forefront. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So other action items we have here.
Can I just make a really quick comment? Just 'cause
Absolutely,
we
go
didn't
for
have
it.
comments after the motion, but I
Oh,
just
I'm
really
sorry.
appreciate the quality of the questions from council. I learned a lot, and hopefully staff did too in terms of, so I just want to thank the council for that.
Agreed. Thank you. We're going to move over to another action item here. This is going to be an update on our police chief recruitment update from our city manager, Lane Long.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. This will be really quick. Since February, we have been working with a recruitment firm, Peckham and McKinney, who's been helping us on our police chief recruitment. The process actually started with they interviewed individually. The council members got surveys from the public, and based on that, they put a profile of who the community wanted, who the council wanted for a police chief. They've recruited. They brought in 6 candidates and then 2 finalists. I've interviewed the 2 finalists, and while they were had good qualities, didn't feel that they were quite the fit and the match they wanted for the community. And so I've reached out to the recruitment firm again, and we're going to extend our period again for a little while, probably another month, and outreach to others and then pick up and go through the process. So we're down to 2 finalists, but we just don't quite think that they're the right fit for us. So we're still moving forward. The recruitment firm is still engaged and will be working with us on that. Any questions?
Councilmember McCarthy? No, I'm sorry. Councilmember Biala. Okay, this light is on. Oh, I do have, let's see, there it goes again. Okay, I do have 2 questions. Has anyone from the outside come before us? Somebody who's not, I mean, and how are we finding the people? Is my first question. The second question is, how much is this costing us?
Yeah, the recruitment firm there, we specifically brought them on board to help extend our outreach to try to be as inclusive and as diverse as possible. And they obviously they can do a lot more outreach. And the person that's conducting it is actually is a former she's a former police chief and is networked and connected. And so we got applicants. The majority were from California, but we also got out-of-state applicants. As far as cost, we're it's around $25,000, and that's typical cost of a recruitment.
And so the goal for this is to extend for how long? Does the net get cast wider? I know there's other cities that are looking for police chiefs. Is it a matter of just really a good fit for us, or is there other extenuating circumstances that you can say? Oh, I guess I have to go to public comment first. So sorry about that. So the new process is that we go out to public comment and then we come back in for questions. So is there anyone in the audience here who would like to ask a question? No? Okay. Is there anyone online who has a question to ask? Just raise your hand. You have 3 minutes. Okay. Not seeing any hands. I'm going to go ahead and bring it back here. Oh, Denise Turley had a question. Denise, are you with us? Go ahead and unmute yourself. And you've got 3 minutes. Oh, Denise, we're having problems with you tonight. Do you want to try promoting her to a panelist? Okay, let's try this, Denise. All right, Denise, can you hear us? Really want to know what she has to say. All right, Denise, we cannot hear you. All right, Denise, I'm hopeful you'll send your comments in via email. All right. Now we're going to come back to this council.
Christina,
I can either restate oh, there you go. Yes,
I
I'm
just
going
want
back
to,
out to, is that okay if I go back
Yeah.
out? I'm going back out to public comment.
my only comment is that I've been bounced from the meeting now 5 times. So, I'm assuming that you're
That's good.
having trouble with your software.
Today we have had some problems.
Okay,
Go ahead and
That's
ask
my
ask
comment.
your questions.
it's not a question, it's a comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so having those difficulties, perhaps we can address those after this meeting. Any other comments? Please raise your hand. Okay, we're going to bring it back to council now. So I had my questions, but if anybody else wanted to go ahead of me, they can. Okay. So my questions had to do with the search issues, whether it's a matter of it's on our end the right fit, or as other areas are looking for police chiefs, is it just super competitive?
And I think the other question asked, are we going to cast a wider net? We actually cast a pretty wide net. What we often find in recruitments, a lot of times it's just timing. Certain people are looking for jobs at certain points in time, and they aren't at other time. And so we're just going to extend it, open up again, and see if there are other applicants that are interested that didn't apply before.
Okay. All right. So you hear that and you're listening, we are opening it back up for circulation of our police chief. We're looking forward to having somebody who fits us well. And before we adjourn, I just wanted to say thank you to all the staff that's here.
Point of order, Mayor, can we go to item 14 briefly, just 14B?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I jump over that? Yes, I did jump over that. I'm so sorry. We're not adjourning. We're going to item 14, which is council and staff information reports.
I saved my time on the housing element so I can make a few comments here.
Thank you.
Real briefly, just wanted to share that I know Councilmember Medina Dirksen and I went to the swearing in of the new Speaker of the California Assembly, which was a really neat event. There's some change happening there at the state level, so we'll see what that means for us locally here. The second thing is I went to the League of California Cities Policy Committee meetings in Pomona a week and a half ago. Very interesting. There was some discussion about homeless issues. A presenter in my policy committee meeting anyway from the LA Sheriff's Office that was talking about how they're dealing with homelessness and some of their approaches. And then the last thing I want to share is that the Cal Cities General Assembly is happening September 22nd, and the deadline to appoint a voting delegate, every city is eligible to appoint a voting delegate. The deadline to do that is by August 28th. So if that's something that we want to be represented there, I think that requires some action by this council. So something to think about. And that's it for me. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Fisher.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I promise to be brief. I attended the Monterey County Regional Taxi Authority Board meeting. During this annual meeting, the board received several reports and approved the fiscal year 2023 operating budget. The next meeting will be held on June 24, 2024. So thank you.
Thank you for attending that meeting. I just have a few announcements myself. I want to congratulate our Bronco champion baseball. The Bronco division for winning the California West Coast Zone Pony. They went to a regional tournament and they won against San Francisco, my hometown. They're headed by Coach James Nguyen. Perhaps we can ask them to recite the pledge next time. This is a big deal. So we're very proud of all of our accomplishments of our youngsters, which brings me to a concern a resident had about provisions of players from teams from cities outside of Marina. I got a letter from a resident concerned about who's playing in the leagues and making sure that Marina children have priority. And also those that go into playing all-stars, they should be playing in the league itself. So are we tracking residents? I hope so. Next, I also attended the swearing in with the speaker, Rivas. It was quite the adventure getting there. We had to assist on Highway 580, a down motorcyclist. We were first on scene with Chief Nieto. So while she directed traffic and got help on the way, we helped on the freeway. It was quite the adventure, but we were very early. So there's a lot of early birds, including a whole contingent from San Benito County that we were first in line. So it was historic and very inspirational. And, you know, finally to really see our region represented. So it's a historic move. It's a beautiful ceremony, very powerful. And just know that the common people are now in the halls of leadership in Sacramento, which is amazing. The other thing is I attended the Friends of Marina Library General Membership meeting last week. The sheer numbers of what the volunteers are able to accomplish is, again, Lenore Masterson's work. So much money raised and so many people involved. So again, our heart is in volunteerism. So with that, any other comments to make? And before we adjourn in Lenore's memory, I just wanted to give thanks from everybody watching. Understand our city staff is here. Anita is our clerk. Thank you very much. Our acting chief, Russo and Cox, and our new HR director, Belinda, and new rec director, Andrea. And of course, our public works staff who put up the flags. Thank you very much. This weekend for 4th of July, along with Ocean Rock Church. Thank you so much. And of course, our fire department and our assistant city manager, and of course, our city manager. So a lot of these people do a lot of work and they don't get the thanks that they deserve. So I want to really make sure that you feel appreciated. Your city appreciates you.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
I had raised my hand. I wanted to make a comment about
Yes.
my meetings.
Go for it.
Okay. So I'm the liaison to the Planning Commission, and I have to say thank you to Guido and to the Planning Commission for they spent about 2 hours reviewing this same housing element. And I really appreciated the fact that Guido relayed some of their comments, because I really think that when we're seeing the same item and we don't hear a report from the Planning Commission, it's like they didn't exist. And I really hope that we can have that kind of cross communication when we're considering the same items. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you. And just a last thank you to Juan Lopez, our finance director, who's joining us remotely. And of course, our city attorney, Heidi Quinn. Thank you so very much. Last remark for me is that I will not be in person for the next meeting. I will be remote from San Diego, which I will let Anita know about. And with that, we are going to adjourn this meeting in the memory of Lenore Masterson with a special remembrance certificate. It said we adjourn in remembrance presented to the family of Lenore Masterson, and I'll make sure her family gets this. The Marina City Council adjourned the meeting of July 5th, 2023 in remembrance of Lenore Masterson. She is dearly missed and cherished by all of us, and it's signed by all of us, and very poignant for me since this was my first meeting chairing her, and I had such a good relationship with her, serving on many boards. So thank you, everyone. And this meeting thank you, Fred,
Thank you.
is now adjourned.